What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Uptempo Podcast. I'm your host, Blake Lane, and tonight I'm here with my co-host, Dustin Smith, and we are here to talk about the Auburn Tigers falling to the Texas A&M Aggies 83-78 on the road out in Aggie land. Auburn falls to 17-7 on the year and 7-4 in the Southeastern Conference. Dustin, man, look, we got to do something about this officiating, man. SEC officials are pathetic. All right. And before we even get into this game, look, I thought Auburn played a fantastic basketball game. Offensively, even defensively, man, some of the fouls that were called were absolutely horrendous. But man, first, how was your day? How you been doing? I know I struggled after watching this just pathetic performance from the Zebras, man.
Yeah, his name is Pat Adams. Before the game, that's the head official. That's his crew, Pat Adams.
Yeah.
Look him up. Before the game, people were tweeting out on the Auburn beat, we don't win many games when Pat Adams is the head official. And I asked some questions. Why? Why is this a thing? Why are people saying this before a game and then it
Mm-hmm.
happens?
Mm.
So I'm pissed off, buddy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm pissed off. We're a flawed basketball team. We make a lot of mistakes. We can't play the Zebras as well.
Yeah, man. Look, I hate to even ask this, but do you think this is like a shot at Bruce Pearl? Honestly, look, I'm not one of those guys that wants to get on here and blame officials for losing, but man, something's going on. Like after the Tennessee game, all right, we have that question. We can even pan back to the Final Four, Dustin, and look at that, like we've talked about before.
Yep.
And then you get this last night, where let's be honest, man, one team shot 40 free throws, and the other team didn't even get to 15. I think what Texas A&M shot 39 free throws. If I'm, let me see here. Let's see if we can pull it up.
39.
There it is, man. A&M shoots 39 free throws, and Auburn shoots 14. That's pathetic, man. That's uncalled for. How does a team even play defense, man? How do you defend? But I mean, what A&M scored on what their final 12 possessions? It seemed like something close to that.
10 or 12, something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and they were going down low because they were going down. I was trying not to foul out. So I don't, I don't know if it's a thing with Bruce or what. I just, like you said, coming off of what happened Saturday versus Tennessee, and then we get
mm,
that where we shoot one free throw in the first half.
mm,
How are we supposed to feel?
mm,
It's not like remember when we played Duke and Maui and they shot
yeah,
35 free throws and we shot like 7 and everybody was
yeah,
pissed. I said, you know what? They did get some calls because they were Duke, and you got to expect that when you play Duke. But we shot however many threes that game. Like that was
mm,
the way we played basketball that year. That was going to be the case more times than not. We didn't
mm,
play that style of basketball last night. We were in the paint with them. We were banging with them. It was
yep,
a physical basketball game. And we got teed up when we talked, but
mm,
they were talking to our bench all night and they didn't get anything. I
mm,
just, it was such a discrepancy. There's one of
yeah,
two things that happened last night. One of two things.
mm,
Either we don't win a lot of games when Pat Adams' crew officiates the game, at which point that opens up a whole nother line of questioning. Why? Why
mm,
is he allowed to officiate our games? If I was somebody at Auburn, I would be asking that question right now. If I was at Auburn, I'd be trying to find some answers out. Um, what's going on? We didn't we didn't even get an apology tweet, which you can shove the apology up your ass as far as I'm concerned, but we didn't even get the apology tweet for the Tennessee game. We didn't
yeah,
get anything. We're just
yeah,
supposed to accept it. And shout out to Zach Blackerby and Daryl Dapprich. I want to use the story they said because I thought it was very enlightening. On their reaction show last night, they did Daryl did a story, or he told a story about when he talked to an active SEC coach, head coach,
mm,
and this coach told him that there are certain officials that have walked up to him and said, "Hey, you ain't got to worry about nothing tonight, coach. You got the A team." I
wow,
got news for whoever these people are.
wow,
We ain't paying money to see you. I'm
that's a
not
fact.
paying money to see you. I don't get off work, rush home, get a shower, golf my dinner down, try to get my house clean, to watch the 6 o'clock tip, to see
Yeah.
your dumb ass, man. I don't. You ain't
Mm-hmm.
you ain't supposed I'm not supposed to know your name. But we'll talk about that in a second too. That needs to change.
Yeah, man. And one thing about that is, look, I think we need to know names. I think we need to know how many times you've officiated each team. I think we need to see you at the podium answering questions. What went through your mind? What did you see during this call? And I think you need to give an explanation on the biggest moments in the game. Why did you go to replay, and look at something that was ticky tack and want to call a flagrant foul on it? Because I'll tell you something. All right, they wanted to call they wanted to call a foul on Cardwell when he landed on, what was his name, Garcia, or I can't remember the guy's name, but
Yeah.
when he flushed it home and he landed on the guy's back, they wanted to tee Cardwell up. They wanted to call something on him. All right, and the guy from A&M, he was like, no, we're good. We fell, like he fell on me trying to land. But man, go back and watch that film. They immediately like looked at each other and they were like, and then you could just see them. All right. And I hate being the guy to sit here and blame officiating for a loss. I hate it. I can't stand it, Dustin. But to look at this graphic rolling across the bottom of our screen, Auburn had 27 fouls to Texas A&M's 17. That's piss poor. It's unacceptable. There is no way you can have that wide of a margin. There's no way. How does a team even defend? How do you play defense, Dustin? Because you know you're about to get whistled. You know it. It's coming.
Don't.
And you saw it last night.
Yeah. And the thought it is, like I said, that's a 10 foul discrepancy when both played the team. There wasn't contrasting styles here. We played in the paint, beating and banging with them the same way they did
Mm-hmm.
with us. It was the same kind of game. It's what the SEC's been all year, unless you watch Vanderbilt or Bama. In the paint, banging, dirty basketball. Because there's not a lot of good
Yep.
offensive teams in this league. And that's what you had last night. You had two teams that come and go with offense, but play good defense. And you decided to call it specifically one way. And don't tell me, oh, well, it's on the road. Man, maybe a
Yeah.
call or two because you're a human and you're influenced by the crowd. But these numbers, nah. Something smells. Something's up, bro. Something stinks.
Yeah, no doubt. And let's jump into this thing. All right. In the first half, man, Auburn, this was really one of the turning points in the entire game, in my opinion. Auburn is out to a nice little lead. Auburn hit a run. They go up, I think, 7, and Flan comes down and buries a 3. Okay. Auburn goes up 10. I think it was 32-22. And you see Alan Flanagan look over to the Texas A&M bench, Dustin, and he just blows a kiss. All right. What comes next? Dude, he backpedals twice, and they T. All right. Technical foul. Let me tell you something, man. It not only did it change the game in the first half, all right, because Texas A&M got 2 free throws and the ball. This is piss poor, okay? What are we teaching our youth nowadays, okay? That you can just be absolutely piss poor soft in this world today. All right. Talking trash is a part of the game. And do we not remember Reggie Miller in the Garden looking at Spike Lee going, choke. The Knicks are choke artists. Like, get off my back. You've been chirping at me, but I'm here chirping back at you, bro. Like, do we not remember just a couple weeks ago, Dustin, LeBron and the Brooks kid, they get into it. They're at the free throw line chirping. LeBron's like, hey, bro, you got one more time. All right. I don't play that. Like, that ain't me. You make one shot and then you want to talk trash. And they're sitting there barking back and forth. Did anybody get teed up there? No, Dustin. Like, I'm sick of this, man. I'm sick of it. Like, back when we were in school, man, you go back 10, 15 years ago, talking trash was an art. It was a way to get in somebody's head. It happened. Let me tell you something, man. There was some things that were said back when I played sports that you didn't want to even know what we were talking about, man. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like we would get on a different level of talking trash. And now, like, even in the West Virginia game, all right, excuse me, not the West Virginia game, the Tennessee game last Saturday. Their big man hit the too small on us. And we see it every basketball game. Somebody turns around, hey, too small. All right, teed up. Like, come on, bro. It's getting ridiculous, man. They're kids. Let them talk trash. Let them celebrate a little bit. Like, it's gotten out of control, Dustin. I can't get behind it, man. Like, I don't know what this world is coming to at this point that you want to put your stamp on a college basketball game and you want to tee a kid up for blowing a kiss. You want to tee a kid up for blowing a kiss? Like, where are we even at, man? That you give a team 2 free throws for absolutely nothing, and then they get the ball back. And guess what? After Auburn makes a bucket, all right, then they go on a 12-0 run. All right. They go on a 12-0 run and end up going, I think they took a 3-point lead, like 37-34 with a minute left in the first half. And then Joe Nye gets a bucket to close it within 1. So now the script has completely flipped. All right. Off of that one call, man, you could see it completely drained Auburn in that first half. That one call. Piss poor. I'm sick of seeing it. It's pathetic, man. Like, it's got to stop. You have to go to the podium and tell me why you blew the whistle and called a tech on Alan Flanagan for blowing a damn kiss, man. Come on.
You know, the problem that I have with this too is not only is it soft, not only everything you said is right, buddy. I mean, you know, playing just this was it. Like this was just blowing a kiss. You kidding me? We were shooting birds. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. There's you can respect the game. You can keep it under control, and there still be trash talk, bro. When
Yeah.
MySpace came out, okay, we were in school when MySpace came out. I don't know what
Yeah.
y'all did up in Mobile. I know what we did. I searched all my opponents and started finding out stuff. Oh, here's your
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend. Let me DM her real quick, see if I can holler at her. Like we went to a level, man. Like
Yep.
I don't get what this is. What is it? What are you doing? What is it hurting? Like, and here's my main thing. Ultimately, it's a business. Ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
it's a product.
Yeah.
Okay. Who of your consumers are sitting in the stands going, if they don't reprimand that young man for blowing that kiss, then I'm getting up and leaving, or I'm turning off the TV. Who are those people? They don't exist. It's kind of the same thing when you put end racism on a football helmet. Is a Klansman going to not be racist now that you put this on the helmet? And
Yeah.
he's still probably going to be racist. So,
Yeah.
like, a lot of these things to me are it's just silly. It doesn't make any sense. The NHL a couple years ago flirted with taking fighting out.
Yeah. Like, come
Like
on.
when everybody goes to a hockey game and goes, "Damn, I hope I see a fight."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when that's your whole thing. So I
Mm-hmm.
just it's crazy, man. I don't understand that in football with targeting
Yeah.
everybody. I've been in the stadiums a million times now when it happens. Even the opposing fans. I hope your kid don't get thrown out for that.
Yeah.
Like no one's with it. So your customers are not a fan of this part of your product. Nobody. Everybody hates it. Universally, it's hated. No one likes it. No one respects it. And even the people that don't have the biggest problem with it, as me and you, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it's still not gonna. Let's say that game got even chippier. Let's say that there was a couple of pushes and it got to a little point. Maybe there was some more trash talk and there was a
Yeah.
couple scrums. And
Sports,
what?
bro. That's
Oh
sports.
God. What if a rivalry developed out of that between Auburn and A&M, and then
Mm-hmm.
we played them in the SEC tournament, and everybody goes, "Oh shit! You remember what happened last time these two teams played?" And now all of a
Yeah.
sudden ratings jump up, and you get more money, which is what all you care about anyway, because that's why USC and UCLA are in the freaking Big Ten now, right? That's all you care
Preach.
about. So what are we
Preach.
doing? What are we doing? It doesn't even line up with anything. It makes no sense. And I'm just supposed to sit back as an Auburn fan and go, well, we just for some reason we're always on the wrong end of these.
Mm,
but it's not a conspiracy, and oh, it's just part of the game, and oh, it's just on the road, and maybe they don't like Bruce Pearl. No, I'm tired of it.
mm-hmm.
I'm tired of being up against Alabama in baseball and it being sunny outside. But Bama, if they can't get this, they can't lose this series right here. Then we can't. Oh, we got to try to get Bama in the SEC tournament. Ball game. It's raining. It ain't raining. Oh, we can't resume the game. It's 2:45 in the afternoon. They got school
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Huh? Would you do this if we were playing Kentucky? I don't
No,
think you would. Hey, buckle up, everybody, because we play Bama Saturday. Guess who's not going to be on our side? The damn officials.
you got a point, man. You got
Even
a
in
point.
Neville, even in Neville, we're going to get screwed, everybody.
You got a point. I mean,
And they're
it's
ranked
just,
highly. Yeah.
I mean, like you said, man, coming off of what we saw Saturday at Tennessee, and then to get this performance, and you can even go back to the Final Four, and just it just looks like, like I said, I hate to be that guy, but it looks like it's a shot at Bruce Pearl. And then, some fans come out after the game wanting to take a shot at Bruce Pearl, saying he was getting into it with a fan and all this. And, you want to make up all these rumors and what he said and all that. Man, get out of here. Go kick
Reporter.
rocks.
That was a
What is that?
reporter. That was a Texas A&M reporter.
Oh, wow.
That
A Texas
tweeted
A&M reporter.
that tweeted that. Yeah.
Jesus, that makes it worse. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
You're a clown. You're a clown. All right. Like BP ain't trying to get into it with no Texas A&M fan or nothing like that, man. Like, get out of here, man. That's stupid. Absolutely stupid, man. But we have to do something about SEC officiating, man. It's to a point where it's just ridiculous. It's not even making it fun to watch anymore.
No, it's
Like,
bad.
it's pathetic, man. But getting into this game, Dustin, one of the guys that I wanted to talk about for the Auburn Tigers is Jalen Williams. We're going to throw this up here, this little graphic right here, man. Jalen Williams had 12 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. Man, what were your thoughts on Jalen? Should he have shot it more? And how did he play last night?
8 times, yeah. He shoots 7 times under my number. My number's not
Mm,
going to change for Jalen. What I know he went. I know he went 1 of 10. I don't
yep.
care.
Keep
Come
shooting it.
back out. Come back. Listen, there's a video somewhere of Allen Iverson telling a story about when he was at Georgetown, or was somebody telling a story about Allen Iverson, but
Hmm.
he went over 17, and then at the very end of the game, he hits a meaningless shot at the buzzer, and walks over to Syracuse's bench and says, "Bleep bleep bleep in your eye." And they were and like and they were just so caught off guard by it. And it's like we need some guys
Yeah.
that got that. And Jalen, brother, like you're 3 from 5 from 3.
Hmm.
Be 5 for 11. Like
Mm.
shoot
Talk
that
to me.
thing, man. Hit Jalen and Leor Berman.
Hmm.
Why are y'all keep hesitating on wide open threes? Y'all are the two best 3-point shooters on the team. Let that thing fly, baby. Let it fly, Jalen. You're the best. Jalen Williams, if you ever see this, you are the best player on this team, man. You're the best player on this team. You got to play
Bro,
like
and
it.
And you brought up a good point. Like last night, like Leor, did you see where he got the ball at the top of the key and he shot fake and then put the ball on the ground and he ended up turning it over? Like, let it fly, bro. Let it fly. You were
That's
one
why
of the
you're
guys
there.
on this. Yeah, like you're one of the guys on this team that since you're only getting 9 minutes, let it fly.
You
Let
got
it
to shoot it.
hit a three, man. Like, do it, shoot it. That's why you're out there, bro. Like, come on. And as soon as, like, when I was live last night and I saw him put it on the ground, I was like, no. And then he turned it over, and I just like, oh, what are we doing? Like, come on, Leor, let it fly, bro. Jay will it's a confidence thing, Dustin. It's a
Yeah.
confidence thing. You can tell, man. Like, sometimes he just shies away from it, and it's there. The talent's there, the shot's there. Shoot the basketball, bro. Like, two is that dude that can get it done for this Auburn team, man. Like, and I know I'm hard on this team. And like last night, I tweeted, I was like, man, we're booty, but we're really not. All right. We have guys like Jay Will that can go 3 of 5 from 3, but if he keeps shooting that thing, maybe he goes 5 of 7 or 5 of
Yeah.
8, or, shoot it, man. Shoot the basketball. So that's what I want to see more out of Jalen Williams. And then, obviously, man, Wendell Green Jr., another solid performance from him. 20 points on 8 of 18 shooting with 6 assists. Dustin, man, like we've always said on this podcast, Wendell Green Jr. just needs help at the other guard position, man. That's it. You need help at the 2. Wendell Green Jr. plays lights out again. I actually like what BP did with Trey and Wendell on the court at the same time last night. I want to see
Yeah.
more of that. I really, really like that. His IQ and his court vision is absolutely phenomenal. I know you made a great point last night in the live when you said when he gets polished as a scorer down the road in his career, he's really going to be deadly. And I do agree with that, man. But Wendell Green Jr., Dustin, another solid performance.
The thing I love about Wendell's performance is he had struggled in 2 games back to back for A&M, going back to the tournament
Yep.
and then going back to earlier this year. They had the recipe for him, and we figured the defense out last night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we beat them pretty early on it, and then they didn't really run that trap anymore.
Yep.
That was the most impressive thing for me. When finally cracked this puzzle, and I mean, dude, like we react to every game. So
Yeah.
you can go back and listen all the way back to football. And I can promise you back to football, we weren't never blaming the refs. There was somebody that we were blaming, but it wasn't the referees. And you can go back and listen to all the basketball games. Not one time have we ever come in here and blame the refs. We lost the
Mm-hmm.
game last night because of the officiating. Point blank, period. I'm not going to, you can't convince me anything. Are there things that we could have done better? Yes, sure. Look at the free throw count. Look at the way they called the fouls. Wendell played a good enough game for us to win. I thought that on the road versus the opponent that it was versus, this was one of his better performances this year. This is what we need away from Neville. This is the Wendell we need away from Neville.
Yeah, man. And, Wendell puts up 20, and Zep even hits 2 threes and gets you 6 points. But
2 3/4.
But guess what? But guess what? All right, KD Johnson, nowhere to be found, man. 5 points.
Mm,
Back to the old KD.
yeah.
And then look at your bench, Dustin. Look at your bench. You get 5 from KD, 3 from Lior, 0 from Trey, 2 from Dylan. Chris Moore, I don't know where he's been since the injury, non-existent. And then Yohan Traore was 0, man. So that's 10 points from your bench, Dustin. We got to be better, man. We got
Becoming
to
a
be
problem.
better. It's just it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. We have to be better. KD Johnson has to be better. All around this team has to be better. We had to gut one out last night and just somehow find a way to win that basketball game. Because
Yeah.
my question to you, Dustin, is now we're 17-7. We're in the heart of our schedule. We still have to play Tennessee again. We have to play Bama twice at Kentucky. We still got to play Missouri, man. So, what does this Auburn team have to do to keep themselves in the tournament and not find themselves as a 1 seed in the NIT, man?
You got to learn how to close. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
you go back to all these performances, man. We're not closing. We're just not coming in clutch. There's nobody out there that's hitting that big shot when they need to hit that big shot. When we
Mm-hmm.
get down to like 2.5 minutes to go, we all of a sudden, even like last night, we played good. That was one of our better offensive performances, all things considered. Like, the environment, who you're playing, that kind of deal. And then them final possessions are dog shit. And it
Yeah.
just, you know what I mean? And like, I look at, I don't, there's some weird stuff going on. I said Zep hit 2 2 3/4 three because that third one did everything but go down.
Yeah.
And in these past 4 or 5 games, I feel like we've had 100 rim outs.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many, just like every loose ball right now is not going our way. Every call right now is not going our way. We're constantly, I mean, go back to the Tennessee game. We have 4 or 5 threes rim out of that, and several of Janai's post shots just rimmed out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just have not been catching breaks, and we've lost 4 out of 5. we just have had a lot of bad luck. And I'm not saying we haven't earned the majority of those losses. Up
Yeah,
until last night, I feel like we've earned every loss this season. And like we're a flawed team, but we got to figure out how to close, man. We got to figure out when
great
these
point.
games get tight, somebody has got to step up. And a little criticism to Bruce, you got to come up with something better than what you came up with last night. That wasn't it, bro. That wasn't it. And I said before the time I texted back and forth with my brother, I was like, man, I hope we don't put the ball in Wynn's hands right here. And listen, Wynn played a great night and all that, whatever. We got a big enough sample size right now where he ain't hitting that shot in the end. He ain't closing. And we airballed several in those final couple of minutes. We started airballing them. Like, whoa, guys, you gotta come on now.
Well, Dustin, I don't know if you were listening to me on the live, but I said this ball is going to Wendell Green Jr. and it's not
Yeah.
going to anybody else because for some reason we can't draw up a final play for nothing, man. It's a logo win 3. That's what you're gonna get. That's what you're always gonna get. That's
Even
what
with
you got last
Jabari.
season. Yeah, that's what you got
Yeah.
last season. Somehow you have Jabari Smith last season, and he doesn't get the last shot. Wendell Green Jr. does. I don't get it.
Me
I
either.
don't know. Like you even come off the bench, and that's what you have drawn up is just absolute trash, man. So, once again, when he takes that shot, Joe Nye gets called for his 5th foul. He's frustrated. He's barking at the officials, making his case. But man, Joe Nye Broom, another guy that I wanted to talk about
Mm-hmm.
with another solid performance. I feel like the dude brings it night in, night out with 18 points, 10 boards of 8 of 11 from the field, man. I thought he played a solid game down low.
Yeah, he's Mr. Dependable. These are his numbers every night. Every night. Lately, we've been talking about L's, and then we at least get to mention how good Janai played. And
Yeah.
the thing about this is he's in foul trouble the whole time. I mean, he's got to play his guy, and he's got to worry about the zebra that's breathing down his neck. So that makes this even more impressive.
Yeah, man. And he had to deal with Marble last night, one of the best bigs in the SEC, man. That dude, he just felt like he was unstoppable down the stretch. And I know Joe Nye really had to be careful there with the fouls and everything like that. But man, just a tough loss. It felt like a deflating loss, Dustin. Just one that just
Yeah, that one hurt.
got you right in the feels, man. But what is Auburn? How did they rebound for Saturday with number 3 Alabama coming into town for College game day?
You seen the Bama fans on Twitter this week? I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
yeah, they're Bama fans. That's Alabama. So if you care about the jersey that you're putting on, if you care about the university that you play at, if you care
Hmm.
about the program that Bruce Pearl's tried to build, if you care about the Auburn family and all these things, then yeah, you're gonna run them out the gym. I mean
Mm,
that should be the goal.
mm.
And we celebrated, right? Bruce did the crane kick, we waved the broom in the air, all that. So they're gonna come with it, and they're a really good team. Uh, Everybody that's probably paying $1,000 to go to that game, you better be loud. Like, I better not see anybody sitting down, even up in the top seats. We're gonna have to bring it. It's gonna have to be an all in type effort. Um, they're a really good team, and this is the perfect opportunity for us to finally beat a good team and put a good one on the resume. And
Mm.
if all you got to do, Blake, is get a couple of those, dude. And we have
Yeah,
the opportunity. We got to win. Like we got to beat Ole Miss. We got to beat Missouri. And man, if you beat, say you beat Alabama at home, you handle business versus Missouri, which Missouri is a good team. But let's
yeah,
say you handle business versus Missouri, you beat Ole Miss like you should, and then what if you slip up and steal one in Kentucky?
yeah.
Well, now you
No
got
doubt.
a nice resume, and none of what I just said is impossible. We're
Yeah.
in these games. We got to figure out how to close them. I personally, I would like to blow them out. But now that I think about it, I hope Saturday is close. I hope it is 74-74 with 30 seconds to go. And I hope somebody on this Auburn team decides that I'm going to be the guy. Because if this team wants to do anything, you're going to be in these moments from here on out. So somebody, and here's my thing with it, Blake. This is the problem I have with some of these things that this team does. You're too old. You're too
Yeah.
old. Johan played 2 minutes last night, and we don't depend on Trey. So the guys that are out there in these moments, You're too old to still be making these mistakes.
Yep.
There's no reason for you to start airballing with a minute and a half to go because the moment's big. It
Sphincter
shouldn't be
holes
too.
get tight.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You're too old
Yep.
for this. This is too veteran of a team to make these mistakes in crucial moments. Get it figured out. Get it together.
Man, good stuff right there. I absolutely agree with you, man. I think you're going to see. Think you're going to see a motivated Auburn team. I know they let
I think
one
so.
get away last night, but like I told you, I don't think they're going 0-2 this week, Dustin. I don't. All right, we need a big time win. We need a resume boost.
Gotta get this one.
And I think this is your chance, man. I think this is your moment to step up and show the country that you do belong in the NCAA tournament, because a lot of people are doubting you right now. There's been some people calling you frauds,
Yeah.
and you need to step up and show the country that you belong. So, man, a huge opportunity. Like you said, every fan needs to be on their feet the entire day. I mean, I don't care during warm-ups, you need to be rowdy. I don't want
Yeah.
to hear anybody. I don't want to hear any stories of anybody sitting down, taking a break, nothing. I don't care if you're 82 years old. I want to see you getting after it
Yeah.
Saturday, okay? So, man, a tough one to swallow. It hurt. Just one of them that just, knife in the chest, man. Tough one to take right there. But hopefully we rebound Saturday. So, with that, man, I know before we get out of here, Dustin, there's a big game this Sunday, man. The Super Bowl. We got the Eagles and the Chiefs, man. I know you
Mhm.
wanted to make a quick prediction. Jalen Hurts, Pat Mahomes. How's Pat Mahomes feeling? I know he's got the ankle, but Jalen's got the shoulder. You got the Kelsey brothers. I feel like they're
Yeah.
making that a huge
Oh.
storyline. His
Yeah.
parents are getting interviewed. They come on the podcast and everything. Just an overall great story with two great teams, two great head coaches. Andy Reid, automatic first bid Hall of Famer, man. Just really good storylines through and through for this matchup Sunday, man. Who you got?
So I hate the Eagles. Full
Mm-hmm.
disclosure, I hate the Eagles. And I was at a Buccaneers game back in the Mike Glennon was the quarterback, and
Oh wow,
Greg Schiano was the head coach.
yeah,
Uh, we were 0-8, and I already had the ticket, so I made the trip. And I made the trip because I was like, you know what? At least I'll see Michael Vick. I'll see Michael Vick ball on my team. Hell, Mike Vick tears his hamstring in the warm-ups.
yeah.
So I got to see Nick Foles ball on my team. Uh, but there was a lady, and like I said, we were 0-8,
Yeah.
and Glennon throws his third pick of the day, and he obviously comes off to a chorus of boos. And there was a lady that tapped me on the shoulder, decked out in Eagles regalia, and she pointed at me and said, "You are a bad fan." And I thought, coming from an Eagles fan,
Yeah.
I said, Santa Claus ain't around, is he? Like, that's okay. The man just thrown 3 picks today. Okay. So I'm going. I've never liked the Eagles since that moment. And if Rondé Barber shut down the vet with a pick six back in '02,
Hmm.
Buccaneers, baby. That was an old rivalry going back in the day, the Bucks versus the Eagles. We battled
Yeah.
it out for a long time, and Donovan McNabb had our number, and we finally got over the hump. Um, I think Pat Mahomes is just unbelievable, man. He's the second. Oh, I don't know. I get he might second best quarterback in the NFL, and
Who's first? Who's
Joey
first?
B. Joey B.
Oh, my man, putting Joey B at one. I like it. I
Yeah. So
like
look,
it.
Mahomes has the chips, and Mahomes is more
Yeah.
established. Joey B gonna get it. Joey B gonna get chips. Let's not sit here and act like Joey B ain't about to get chips.
I like it.
And Andy Reid, like I'm not. You're picking hairs, right? You're picking
Yeah.
hairs. It's
Yeah.
just like this whole MJ versus LeBron thing today, which is why I got my Kobe shirt on because you are all forgetting a very important person in that debate.
Mm.
But um, situations, right? Like,
Hmm.
what if Joey B went to Patrick Mahomes? This dude went to the Bengals, the
Great point.
Bungles, who
Great
Pat
point.
who Pat McAfee had to shame into building an indoor practice facility in Ohio. Like this franchise is notorious for being a dumpster fire. Um,
Yeah.
so and he in the first year he gets them to the chip, and then this year
Hmm.
loses a very close game that should have went to overtime. Yeah, and they're both great, but I think Mahomes is the truth. I respect the hell out of Andy Reid. And Nick Sirianni has done a great job at Philly, and Philly has one hell of a roster. But I think it's going to be a good game. I think that Oklahoma Sooner quarterback Jalen Hurts has surprised me a lot. I didn't think he was going to be this good, but he did the best thing for his career by getting out of Tuscaloosa and going to Oklahoma and then
Mm.
being successful because, Bama sucks. And I'm going to go Chiefs 27-21.
Chiefs 27-21.
Chiefs 27-21.
Dustin, look, I'm gonna roll with the Oklahoma quarterback, man. I'm gonna take
Okay.
Jalen Hurts and this
I knew you would.
Philadelphia. I'm gonna take this Philadelphia defense, man.
Okay.
I like the pressure that Philly puts on the quarterback, man. I really like the front seven of Philly, and I think they can get to Pat Mahomes. Him on the ankle, I'm not sure. I know he's going to play and gut it out,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure if he's 100% Patrick Mahomes. Uh, I think Jalen Hurts is ready for this moment. I'm not going to pick against him because I think he is that dude. And like he always says, make sure you check your box. All right. Make sure you check your box. And I think he's ready to check his box, man. I really do. I think they have the weapons. I think they have the ground game. And then you have to account for Jalen and his legs. He's not going
Yeah.
to beat you with over the top speed, but he will take off and run that thing, and he can also beat you with his arm, man. So we know he's got Devontae out there and AJ Brown, and it's a lot of weapons, and everybody's pointing at Kansas City, man. Kansas City, Kansas City, Kansas City. Pat Mahomes, all the weapons he has. But I'm telling you, man, this Eagles defense reminds me of the last time Kansas City was there against the Bucks, man. That defense of Tampa really got to Pat,
Hey.
and
And
I think
Dominic
this.
too.
I think this Eagles defense can do the same thing, man. I really do. Give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles 30-23. Give me the Eagles 30-23, man. Jalen Hurts gets it done. Um, thanks Lincoln Riley in the post game for making him what he is today. Um, whatever they want to claim. Hi, man.
It's
That's like
crazy.
us. That's like Bo Nix going to the league and us saying built by Auburn.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
bro was built by Oregon. All
That's
right.
he's a duck.
Yeah, he's a duck, bro. So give me the Eagles, man. I'm going out on a limb. I like the Eagles. So, but man, like one thing you brought up about the NBA real quick before we hop out of here, LeBron breaks the all-time scoring record at a historic moment. However you want to look at it. I know there was a big uproar on social media today. Is he the GOAT? Is he not the GOAT? In my opinion, that is not even a debate. He is not the GOAT,
No.
in my opinion. Um, and I'll be honest with you, Dustin. Look, it comes down to killer instinct for me, and I talk a lot of stuff about players, nowadays being soft, and sports being soft, and officiating being soft, and it comes down to the Mamba mentality and the Jordan slit your throat in the big moment.
Yeah.
Jordan wasn't going into a finals and he wasn't taking defeat. He wasn't going to accept it. Michael Jordan said, "Hey, look, I've never lost. All right, I've just ran out of time a couple times. All right, but I've never lost." And that's the mentality that LeBron doesn't have. LeBron wants to be Mr. Nice Guy, bro. That's just how he is, right? He's a pass first guy, sitting in fourth place on the all-time assist leaderboard, and he's a pass first guy, and he wants to get his teammates involved. Which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with
Right.
that. All right, I'm cool with that. But one thing that kind of got me last night, bro, is like all the celebrating, and your
Yeah.
team lost. You lost.
Yeah.
You lost, bro. And then like AD was like, they were like, "Hey, what could you do?" And he was like, "Win games." So what's going on, man? Like, I know you're going to celebrate it because it's one of the greatest things to ever be done, and it was a 40-year record. But at the end of the day, bro, you're still what? You're sitting 13th in the West. And what's crazy to me is Lakers fans are MVP, MVP. And I'm like, bro, you're not even going to make the playoffs. Like, what are you talking about? MVP? You're almost dead last in the West. Like, check yourself at the front door. Come on, man. But congrats to him. I'm not I used to be a big LeBron fan, but I'm not anymore. Just because of his actions over the past couple of years and some of the
Yes.
things that he goes on and rambles about and all that stuff. But man, your thoughts on LeBron breaking the record?
Well, yeah, I don't want to I want to just gloss over and act like it's no big deal. The amount of hard work he got to put into, like
Yeah,
the amount of hard work he's put into his body to be this good for this long, and he's an all time great, whatever. But yeah, I mean, this is not an exaggeration. And I grew up playing ball. Like basketball is my first love. Um, I haven't watched the NBA since the pandemic,
yeah,
and LeBron James is a really really big reason as to why I no longer watch the NBA.
yeah,
I've never seen a player protected to the extent that he's protected in the media. To see emails be leaked from ESPN saying you're not allowed to come at this guy. Um, when the situation happened with Kobe, where the girl ended up making what was later found out to be false accusations, um, that wasn't known at the time, and the whole world was coming down on him. And he played a game in Denver where they were all chanting "rapist." You know what
yeah.
Kobe did that night? He dropped 50 plus points. I believe it was 52. I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it was 52. But I know he dropped 50 plus points that night with them chanting that at
Hmm.
him. Like, that's my problem with the whole deal is Michael's the GOAT. I'm not saying Kobe's better than Michael, but
Yeah,
like to act like LeBron is better than Kobe, go back to the All-Star game back in the day. Whenever it's a tight game at the end, LeBron goes up to shoot it, Kobe closes out on him, and then LeBron passes it. Kobe rode LeBron all the way back down the court. He was
hmm,
literally like almost verbatim telling him, if you want to be me, you've got to shoot that shot.
yeah,
Why are you not shooting that shot? And that to me, like, epitomizes who those two guys are. And yes, their game is different. Like, yes, LeBron's game lends itself more towards passing the ball, for
hmm,
sure. But if you ask me, best small forward of all time is Larry Bird. Like
mm,
I can put together a team of 10 guys easy and leave LeBron out and not think twice about it. And again, he's great, but when when you put yourself out there the way he has, it's hard for me. It's hard to
yeah,
ignore it. I'm an all about ball kind of guy. You're not going to hear me. You're never. I promise you, you will never be able to pin me down left or right.
yeah,
You might think you can. You're not. You don't know. You're never going to get it. I'm not going to talk about it. So like, because personally I don't line up with either one of them. That ain't
yeah,
me. I'll think independently and do my own things. Some people are right about some things. Other times, other sides are right about that. I don't. I'll never get that blue versus red mentality.
yeah,
But but when you put yourself so far in a certain side on a position, it doesn't matter to me whether he went super right or super left or
yeah,
whatever he did. He just went a certain direction with what he did where it's hard to ignore it.
hmm,
I can't ignore it. So it's part of his story to me. And then when I see Michael Jordan say, I don't care, Republicans buy sneakers too.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
me. That okay. And then to see the way that Kobe treated it, yes, that's just who I'm gonna like more, man. I'm about the ball. And
yeah,
LeBron has put himself out there and been really wrong and been really hypocritical on a litany of things. So unfortunately, like that's part of his story. It's just hard to ignore it. It is what it is. He's put himself in that position. I would be honest with you, Blake. I was turned off by him saying, "I think I'm the greatest player ever play this game." Because even MJ, who if you put a gun to his head, would say, "Yeah, I'm the best player." And I'm sure there's probably a clip out there of him smoking a cigar with some alcohol in his hand, going,
yeah,
"Ain't nobody better than me."
yeah,
I'm sure that exists, but like in the moment when asked about it at the podium, he said, I can't ignore Dr. J. I can't ignore Kareem. He said, I can't ignore Magic. He said, I can't ignore the guys that played in the era before mine.
yeah,
When he was paying homage to the other guys. What did LeBron say last night? I'm the best to ever play this game.
yeah,
Buddy, I'd take T-Mac over you, dog.
Hey, look, man, and like here's the thing, Dustin, is like, don't get me wrong, bro. What we've seen out of LeBron we'll probably never get to see again, right?
Yeah, I'm
Not in
not
our
saying he
lifetime.
sucks.
Yeah, yeah, we're not saying that. Because the longevity of just 20 years. And I can remember being in middle school watching this dude play on ESPN and
Right,
just
right.
the all-time greatness from St. Vincent St. Mary and the predictions of him being deemed the next Michael Jordan. And he lived up to all of that. He lived up to all of the hype. But like the way he acted in Boston the other night, was it a foul? Yeah, it was a foul.
That's
But bro, you acted
disrespectful.
like a 2-year-old. Okay. You
Yeah,
acted
Wendell
like a
Wendell handled it better at Knoxville.
yeah, like you
A
acted like a
kid,
2-year-old
right?
on the court, and then you get up and say, "Oh well, we have to fight every single day for wins. Any way we can get them in this league." Okay, then why do you sit out? Why does people on the Lakers sit out 6 and 7 games a year for load management? All
Load
right,
management.
come on, bro. Like you're not making any sense. You still had 5 extra minutes in overtime to win the game, but you want to sit here and pout on the ground and act like a little girl and just act like a 2-year-old, bro. Like, come on.
Go back to
It's
the J.R. Smith thing, right? Okay,
yeah,
yes, J.R. made a mistake, but you still got a game to play,
and you
and
see him on the bench.
he's just over there completely despondent. Just
Yeah, and he takes the paper towel and like puts it over his head, and he's just like, oh, like. And Jr. even did a podcast, bro. Like,
I've seen it, yeah.
yeah, and he was like, they were like, man, what was going through your mind? And he was like, look, I know I messed up, and he was like, but then when I seen Bron and his body language, he was like, man, we lost. Like, he's like, because he was so disconnected from everybody else on the bench, like he was just like, it's over with. And Jr. was like, that's the only time like I really kind of had beef with Bron was because he just made a scene when you shouldn't make a scene. And that's my only thing with him, man, is just like some of the stuff he does is just, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way. And I'll be honest with you, Dustin, I think he sold his soul when he went to Hollyweird. All right. When he went to Hollyweird, all right, because I don't call it Hollywood because it's Hollyweird. All right.
Strange, ain't it?
It's a strange place. And when he went out there, I don't think he went out there for basketball. I think he went out there for acting. I think he went out there for money purposes. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, I think he went out there for his kids. Like I think he went out there more for Bronny and Bryce to play at Sierra Canyon than he did himself. All right. And I'm cool with that. But it's just weird like how he acts since he got to LA. He's just a different dude, man. That's why I can't rock with him as the greatest player of all time. I just, what he did was great. It's phenomenal. He broke the record. He deserves it. But just, it's different, man. Like, I like LeBron in Cleveland. That's the
Yeah.
LeBron I like. The stint in Miami was fun. It was cool. It was a blast. I loved it. But LeBron in Cleveland, that's who I like. That's the LeBron that is my guy. All right.
Well, I'll say this. Going back his first year in that first finals, first Nowitzki and all them, that is a big stain. And
Yeah.
it's he's got great performances, right? Like again, when you're talking about the greats, you really start picking hairs. Okay. I know what some of the performances he did versus Golden State. My jaw was on the floor like
Yeah.
everybody else's. When Kyrie went out and when K Love went out, what he did to keep his team in that, absolutely incredible. All time stuff. Okay. I'm not an idiot. But like it just, yeah, man, it just don't vibe with me. I'll say this. If Pensacola had an NBA team or NBA NFL team or whatever it was, and I got drafted by them with the first overall pick, I'm never leaving. I'm never
Facts.
leaving. And LeBron's a very tough dude and all that kind of stuff. I'm not calling this man soft. Okay, he's a great, but some people are built different, bro. I would never leave my hometown. I damn sure wouldn't do it high and dry.
That's
I
a
wouldn't do
fact,
it on.
man.
I would never do my city like that on live TV. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and the economic stuff that come after that just crashed the downtown area of Cleveland. like all of the bars that shut down because he left, and like nobody would come downtown to watch the games after that, and like just the amount of money that they lost was insane. But I agree with you there, man. Like I feel the same way. If Mobile had a professional team and I was in that situation, I couldn't leave my city. But
Nope.
other people are different. I don't know.
Yep.
But man, closing this thing out, Dustin. Hopefully Auburn can get back on track Saturday. I've enjoyed it, man. I really appreciate it. I'll give you the final word, man.
I appreciate everybody for listening. Y'all know to get on this YouTube, subscribe, Apple, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. You can find me on Twitter at dmcshad28. And Saturday is going to be the break. To me, we're getting to that point, do or die. We got to do something right here. We lose this game, and it's going to start being trouble. So appreciate everybody for listening. And we got some big baseball stuff coming up next week, man. I'm excited about it. And appreciate you playing playing hurt tonight, brother.
Man, I appreciate it. I know I didn't normally bring the energy that I usually do, man. I'm not feeling too great, but I toughed it out, man. Got it done. I had to cancel on Josh the other night. It felt bad on that, on rising to the occasion. Just didn't have it in me, man. So getting over this thing. But like you said, Lindsey Crosby of the Auburn Daily and the Locked On Podcast Network, I know he has his own little MLB podcast on there. He's going to come on here next Monday night, and we're going to talk Auburn baseball. So we're excited about that. Big time guest. Next weekend, Auburn kicks things off with Indiana at Plainsman Park. We're so excited. We cannot wait to dive in to this baseball season and just really hammer college baseball on this podcast, Dustin. So I'm excited, man. Big things ahead. Thank each and every one of you for listening to this podcast. And with that being said, we're out. We will catch you on the next one. War Damn Eagle.